All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. I'm Aaron Wimsett. Sonny Young Graves. It's the Good, the Bad, the Ugly championship recaps. 2 championship games tonight. We had Free Ballers versus the Muskies in our rec championship, and then the Bulls and the City team in our open championship. Let's start out with the rec championship. Free Ballers versus Muskies. It was a good game. Second time Free Ballers had to play in overtime. It was kind of back and forth early on. Free Ballers took an early lead. I think they're up by 8 or 10 or 12. They sit Andre Gray. I think he sat for probably like 6 minutes, and the Muskies went on a 14-0 run, I believe. What are your thoughts on that?
That proves that he's the glue. I mean, Rue's pressing the guards. Dre is that middle guy that gets those defensive rebounds, gets those tips on the offensive rebounds, and they just couldn't get the offense going. They're swinging it up top, getting trapped in the middle, and Muskies came out pressing hard as soon as he went out. Made the difference in the first half.
Nick Whitrock also, probably for the second game in a row, he came in, I think probably like the last 6-7 minutes of the first half, and had another big first half for him. He didn't score 11 points like yesterday, but he hit a big 3. He played good defense on Rablin, and he was scoring inside. Is he going to stick with the Free Ballers, or do you think he'll get picked up somewhere else?
Championship, I'm pretty sure if they're coming back, same squad, maybe one change. He's probably going to stay. That's their tallest, biggest guy. So that's the only person that's going to be able to give Dre some kind of break.
So we talked about the Junius versus Xavier, kind of mouth off yesterday. Who was going to win? Xavier really wasn't saying anything. It was more Junius versus Andre Gray. And it started to get good in the second half.
Yeah, Junius got to him. He got him, but I don't think Junius was too focused on yelling at his own team to realize that he had him on the hook. And Junius is on the bench, and he said something to Dre as they scored, and Dre took a full lap to run over to the Muskies bench and say something to Junius, and then sprint back on offense. So, I mean, he let him get away. Dre forced, I think, two bad shots, and but then it wore off. Junius didn't even go back at him. Zip had a few words, I believe, with Zach. Zach got in foul trouble, so it worked. It evened out both ways.
So the end of regulation, the Muskies were down by 3, I believe. Corey Rabin hits a 3-pointer, or it was close. It was a 2. It was from the left corner. They're down by 1. I think
Corey hits the 2, steps on the line. But he was 0 for 6 tonight from 3. But then they don't get back. Dre gets a quick layup with, I would say, I think it's about 40 seconds left. And then Muskies come around, swinging around. Zach McCray gets an NBA 3. Make sure that it's not a 2 this time. Makes the 3, ties the game up. Go to overtime.
In overtime, the Free Ballers hit there. I think both teams were in the bonus at that point. The Free Ballers, unlike, I think, yesterday they shot probably 50% from the free throw line. They actually did pretty well in the second overtime. I think Billy went 2 for 2. I think.
But Dre still missed. He went 1 for 2. I think Billy's been the only one that's made his free throws. Jake went 1 for 2. Or no, Jake missed the front end of a 1-and-1, the last 1-and-1. So, and Dre got the rebound on that, but it's been tough. They pulled him out. I mean, they could have avoided overtime both nights if they made their free throws, but in the championship, they got the win.
Yeah, and it got shaky there at the end. The Muskies finally started to use their press, and Free Ballers had some turnovers. I think Rue had one right under the hoop. But they held together, and they're the champions.
Yeah, I would say it was a good call. I would say exact same team. They played the exact same game, and it was just who could hold on the longest. Good win.
You got a chance to catch up with Andre Gray,
Mr. Marshawn Lynch.
Mr. Marshawn Lynch, who would do an interview yesterday, but he did one today. Here's that interview.
Hoops Nation, I'm here with Andre Gray. I would say key factor in the Free Ballers win in the championship. How you feel? First ring?
Man, feels good, man. Give shout outs to all my teammates, man. They really worked hard this year, and we left it all out on the court.
What was the key factor in your win tonight?
Man, hustle, intensity, never giving up. Even when we got down again, everybody still believes it. You see it a little arguing here and there, but at the end of the day, we stick with it. So,
I mean, as I see it, you subbed out. The team kind of went down. Morale went down. We know you're the glue to this team, bringing them back. Will you be back next season? Defend the chip.
Man, if these guys are committed and they're going to be here every week, I'm definitely going to be back. Definitely.
First championship back in Fridley in a year.
We brought it back. We said we was going to do it. All the non-believers, #1, baby.
Congrats.
So the Gold Cup's coming back to Fridley. Will it stay there next season?
It's going to be tough. I mean, I looked up, and I wish I'd have recognized it last night. So the last 4 seasons were all Bloomington. So is it going to be that kind of ratio, 1-4 each season? The league's going to pick back up with fall, so we're going to probably have 35 teams, 36, maybe more.
Do you think fall is historically the lowest or worst?
I thought summer was the worst, but I would say we'll have at least 36 teams, and it'll be tough. It'll be tough.
On to the Open Championship, Bulls versus City team. Started a little late because of the overtime. We had talked about it before. If it was all about who showed up for the City team. PJ Hill and Anthony Tucker were here. So they had probably as full of a squad as they could. Again, Sam Newman-Beck was out with injury. We talked about it yesterday. The determining factor of the game would be if City squad just kind of came out and messed around, or if they took things seriously. They were kind of a little lackadaisical, and they got down, I think, 30-6 or something early on.
Yeah. I'd say they came out in the 2-3 zone, and it wasn't even aggressive. It was lackadaisical and just sagging inside the three-point line, and gave up a 3 to Roderick Powell, then gave up another 3 to Ian. And then they weren't hustling. I mean, you're already in the zone, so you're not going to get rebounds. So then you let the guards come in and crash and get second chance tips. And that made the difference. And then when they tried to play aggressive, that's when Paris stepped up and started driving, making plays.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think City squad cut it to about 13 or so, and then Paris took over at the end of half and into the second half. I think he sat out probably the last 10 minutes. That's how bad it got. If City squad was full strength, with Rundles and
Diggs,
it
would have been a better game. The Bulls have the better role players in this game. You have PJ, Tuck, Seth. Tim's a solid role, but they were just more athletic. They could go get the ball. They were playing above the rim. I think Wade slammed 2 down. Ian probably got fouled on 2 attempts. Just played more aggressive.
And you touched on it earlier. I mean, the zone versus the Bulls man-to-man is, another thing that made a huge difference. The Bulls were getting steals, were getting turnovers, and on the other end, the Bulls were getting easy buckets. But I got a chance to catch up with Geno Phelps after their game, their 4th Gold Cup, I believe, in Open. Here's that interview right now. Nation, I'm here with Geno Phelps of the Bulls. Another trophy to add to the case. How's it feel?
Feels good as usual. It's been a long time since the Bulls won a champion of any caliber. but it feels good to be back on the map. And this was kind of like a new core. I had 3 new members, and it didn't start off so good, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, one of those new guys, Wade Pierce. He had a huge game tonight. Was playing defense, attacking. He was knocking down threes. Talk about those new players.
Well, Wade is actually one of the original Bulls who played with the team when we first signed up in St. Louis Park. We almost had a perfect season, and he went out with an ankle injury, and then we lost Marlon Thomas, and the Rockets ended up winning the championship. He kind of faded off. I lost contact with him, but I found him. And what we didn't accomplish 3 years ago, we finally accomplished now. And hands down, Wade is one of my favorite all-time players. I'm always coaching him, I'm always keeping his confidence up, and I'm always in his ear. And I feel good, and I'm proud that he got his first Gold Cup.
So you probably couldn't have picked a better road to the championship. You got to beat Rip City in the Final Four, who are kind of infamous for calling you the Baby Bulls. And then you get to beat the #1 seeded team. How does it feel, and do you guys prefer to play the tougher teams?
Oh, always. I honestly can't recall one championship that the Bulls have won where it's been an easy path, whether it be in the state of Minnesota or whether it be in Las Vegas in national competition. You left Abe out, which was a tremendous team. We had them up by 23, but I told my team not to let up because they'll come back, and we almost let that game slip away. So Abe, Rip City, those are great teams. We don't mind Kenny and Peter talking. That's just them. It wouldn't be right if they didn't do that. But, yeah, we wouldn't prefer no other way but to beat Rip City, Abe, and the City team. Also, I want to add that I had a little something extra on this because we met the City team, if you recall, 2 years ago at the Target Center, and we thought we had that Gold Cup won, and they came back and took it right out of our mouth. So I let the team know that this is personal, and I won't let it happen again.
That was my next question. Will the Bulls be back next season to defend?
That's the million-dollar question. I think we all going to go out tomorrow, celebrate, and I'll have an answer for you by Monday morning.
Awesome. Congrats, man.
Right.
So you wouldn't expect that to be their 4th Gold Cup in Open. I thought they had more. But just kind of shows how competitive it is season in, season out. Are they back next year, and can they defend, and will they defend?
Knowing the Bulls, it's always a last-minute decision. Like your role players are in. Is Paris gonna play? Is Brinsley gonna play? And right now Brinsley's out. Who's 2 months tweaked his knee. So who are you going to have in? Wade will probably play, but is that enough to get to the championship? Because then they'll win some games, but then you'll have Rip City talking trash like you can't do it without Paris, and it's just tough. And I mean, tonight, even Paris has been working on this game. I believe that's the most threes I've ever tallied in his box. Yeah, Travis says he's bringing the Spurs back, so that's going to be a difference. And you got Abe and the Wolves, and it'll be tough coming out of St. Louis Park.
Any final thoughts?
I don't know. It'll be competitive fall. I know the Open guys are nervous about next season or having a season next season, but it'll be back in St. Louis Park. So, say a new champion in both leagues, no repeats. Obviously, that's an easy way to go with it. But Bloomington wins in Rec and St. Louis Park. I'll say early Final Four prediction would be the Wolves, Rip City, Spurs, and it's tough. I know City Squad's out. Their whole team's gone overseas now. Bulls, I don't think they'll be back. Maybe I'll do a surprise with the get chip.
Okay. So we've mentioned this before. We'll mention it again. Probably get nothing but this for the next 2 weeks. Next season, there will be no paper registration forms. So you need to sign up online. Again, I'll continue to post throughout. It's pretty easy. You go online, upper left corner. There's sign up. You go, you select your league, put your information in. It sends you your MyLT. You pay. It's done. You sign up by the 25th. It's only $69. Then you don't have to deal with signing the sheet. You can just come in and play ball. Yeah.
Especially in Fridley, do it now. Because it's going to be rough running back upstairs to get everything paid for up at the front desk.
So sign up online. Any final thoughts on the next season?
I got to find some teams.
Sonny needs some teams. We'll see you guys next season.
Watch him!